Lady Vols at a transfer. We got into this huge debate over whether or not Kim Campbell, the latest
Kim
coach,
Caldwell, you mean?
Kim Caldwell, Kim
Kim
Caldwell.
Campbell.
Start all over. I knew a Kim Campbell. That's what makes it difficult. Kim Caldwell arguably said that her roster was not good enough to compete at a championship level. I think she meant depth, but it caused quite a stir. That being said, she picks up Ruby Whitehorn, a Clemson transfer. How big of a pickup is this for the Lady Vols?
I'll say this, it gives them the most athletic team in the SEC, far and away now. They have added 4 transfers. Lazaria Spearman, Alyssa Latham, Samara Spencer, and now Ruby Whitehorn. All of them are wildly athletic. 2 athletic forwards and 2 athletic guards. All of them are scorers. All of them love to score in transition. None of them can shoot the 3, Dave. Not one of them. Ruby Whitehorn was 25% her first year, 27.5% her second year. She's below 70% from the free throw line. So Kim Caldwell knew she was limited on how she could build this offense this year to run her style. She focused on athleticism. She knew she had to make a sacrifice somewhere. She sacrificed 3-point shooting. So she focused on athleticism. So it's very clear now with Ruby Whitehorn what you are because Ruby Whitehorn is like, think of a John Calipari type guard. You know those athletic guards that can slash to the basket but can't shoot for anything?
Sure, absolutely.
Yes, John Wall. And so that is exactly who Ruby Whitehorn is. That's how this offense is going to be running now. They are going to just turn up the transition, turn up the chaos, press, and they'll be athletic enough to generate a ton of turnovers and get to the basket for easy buckets. But the 3-point shooting will not be there. Now, caveat on that. It's a lot easier to shoot 3 sometimes when you run a transition offense if you have because you'll have a lot more open looks. So it is possible because of the open looks and because of how quick these players are in open space, they'll get a lot better looks than they got at where they were from. So you can maybe add, I don't know, if it's a 25% 3-point shooter, maybe they become a 30% 3-point shooter with that. And also you already have a couple of shooters on the team like Sarah Puckett to the point to where, okay, maybe it's possible that the athleticism alone will create more 3-point shots. But Kim Caldwell likes to run and shoot from the outside. That shooting from the outside thing is going to be held back a significant bit this year, but she has much more size than she had at Marshall. So that's clearly where she was going.
I don't know if there is a women's basketball transfer expert out there, and I'm not going to pretend to be one, but I'll tell you right now that I think the recruiting has gone better than expected for Kim Caldwell and the Lady Vols. Would you say better than expected? Okay, or she's still struggling? Maybe that's a new poll question, but let me get what you think about it right now.
1,000% better than expected. 1,000% better than expected. I didn't think John and Adams, who is obviously off today, I wish we had him on because he would be great talking about this, but we talked about with him how the roster was not only not that good of a roster, but it wasn't built for what Kim Caldwell was trying to do. And we didn't know she would get enough players to do it. Well, she just got 4 transfers, all of whom are wildly athletic. Then Jewel Spear is staying. Jewel Spear is one of the few players who does fit what Kim Caldwell's trying to run. It's hard to think that, Tennessee wasn't going to get put it this way. Tennessee wasn't going to get the athletic 6'2" wing player who could shoot from outside. They were going to get that this year with Kim Caldwell, given where they were. It's going to take a minute. And so I think this is a great situation for Tennessee. They really have, I think they've maxed out what they can do. And by the way, I don't think they're done. I think Kim Caldwell is still going to add one more player.
I definitely don't think they're done. My question is, if they were to pick up player X, and I'm not expecting you to know every women's basketball player in the portal, what type of player would that be? What do they need to fill out this roster? As I remind you, our friends at TriStar Hats, for the latest in TriStar Hats, go to the original TriStarHatsCompany.co. And I'll tell you what, they've got hats, apparel, and more. TriStarHatsCo.com. TriStarHatsCo.com. I misspoke there. but you'll absolutely love what you can get. Check out this hat. It's just right behind me right there. That's your TriStar Hats look, and it's fantastic. So TriStarHatsCo.com, the original. Don't go with a fake. I'll tell you more about them here momentarily. But Caleb, who's the lady, or what type of lady do they need to fit into this class to, if not complete it, then to show that it's headed the right way for sure?
They need an athletic sharpshooter. That's what they need more than anything else. They need an athletic sharpshooting, probably guard, somebody like 5'9", 5'10", ideally 6'2", 6'3". Those are just a dime a dozen in the women's game. So wildly athletic, 5'9", 5'10" type of guard, like what they've gotten with Tamara Spencer and Ruby Whitehorn, but one who is 35% from three, not 25% from three.
Hey, Smoky Mountain Red brought up a great point. The only thing that I kind of dislike about Kim is how much she admits that she is, paraphrase, lost and is delegating things to others. In my opinion, she should talk with confidence. You brought up a great point, Smoky Mountain Red. Here's something that I was told in her interview process, that she openly admitted that she would not be fantastic at certain aspects of running this type of program. This is a monster jump, and that they really like that about her attitude. So while I'll agree with you, SMR, that maybe she shouldn't display that publicly, it actually got her the job, being willing to be open, delegate, say, I don't have this all figured out. I was told it actually got her the job, that interview approach.
I think it's a level of security. We'd always talk about insecurity on coaches. It's a level of confidence. Yeah, because I think a lot of coaches in Kim Caldwell's situation get jobs that maybe they're not ready for, and they're super insecure, and they try their best to make up for their insecurities because they know they're probably not ready for it. And then that creates way more issues down the road. I mean, the most obvious worst example of that was Butch Jones. We know that. But and then there's other people who aren't insecure. They're almost too secure. They feel like they're ready for this and everything about it when they're not. And that would be Derek Dooley, right? Derek Dooley felt that there was going to be no change whatsoever going from Louisiana Tech to Tennessee.
Yeah, and he was going to have success no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that there is a happy medium of understanding what you don't know right now at the moment, but at the same time, growing into the job. And that is, I think that's more than anything being secure in yourself. I mean, I admit, I'm willing to admit when I'm not good at something, and Dave's willing to admit when he's not good at something, or when he hasn't had something figured out yet. And I think, look, guys, we are just this YouTube space. We figure things out on a daily. We are not as seasoned as so many other people who are good at this on YouTube. We do everything we can to get it right every day, but we don't know a lot of times if some things are going to work. We test a lot of stuff. And I think Kim Caldwell is that. And I think that's totally fine. You can kind of grow into a job. You don't want to be like Penny Hardaway at Memphis, who was very insecure because he came out of high school and was not ready for that job. Maybe he'll grow into it, but he's made a lot of early mistakes that has crossed the program.
Well, now Smoky Mountain Red does say, maybe don't say I'm lost, LOL. Did she actually say that as we go to the message board? Did she use the word lost? Because no, I probably wouldn't say that. I'll agree with you there. Maybe I didn't see that quote.